fastest show in sports.
The WNBA is doing everything they can to make sure that their players are being seen as real basketball players, which is fine because they are. These are outstanding female athletes. They are without question talented basketball athletes. They are professionals. They deserve all the accolades they get. But sometimes it seems to me as if they're sort of going a little too far in all this, and it comes down to a fight between the Connecticut Sun and the Chicago Sky.
Westbeld. Rivers climbs the ladder. Uh-oh. Oh, no, it's getting feisty. Hartley and Allen get into it. Oh, my goodness. Sky and Sun not getting along despite the fact they share the same real estate up in the air. Ariel Atkins is livid, barking to the Connecticut bench. Tyler Marsh, the security team of Chicago, has to break up the scrum.
Let's go.
Oh my, so this all began with Allen and Hartley.
Now, I'm going to get to that in just a second in something there, but if you want to see that highlight, you can't get it from the WNBA, because if you go on YouTube and you look for the highlights from the game, that's cut out. They don't show it, because what they're trying to do is protect the brand, obviously. But the fact that we have this, it's not even a fight, Mike. I mean, come on. There's some contact down underneath the basket. Somebody pushes, somebody shoves, and then we have a play-by-play announcer going, oh, things are getting feisty here. Come on, stop with the incredible overdone hype. Nothing's getting feisty here. It's
I feel like
basketball.
everybody. I feel these clips you're putting on are like done by like The Onion or SNL.
Yes.
Like the guy's line was actually the sun and the sky who share the same atmosphere under the, like what?
In the air. I mean, they share the same space in the air.
In the air, like you can't make you can't make these ridiculous things up, and these guys get paid for it. It's hilarious. I guess I would say this: one, the WNBA is much more physical than people realize.
Yes.
Two, shocker, Angel Reese was not in the game and was not involved in the fight. She can mess with a lot of people. She's a very strong young woman. And three, that's not a fight. A fight is when someone punches somebody in the face. It's like a baseball fight where everybody's pushing each other and jumping in the dugouts. Oh no! A fight is when a fight is when someone gets popped in the face. Let's be honest.
That was basketball.
That's a fight.
See, that's part of it, because it's women's basketball versus men's basketball, and I still think what they're trying to do is soft pedal women's basketball because, hey, these are ladies playing the game. I really believe that, and that's wrong. Treat it like a game. It's a game. Treat the men's game and the women's game exactly the same in everything that goes on.
No, I always said
Stop trying to make this about a women's game. It's not feisty, and nobody's up in the air. And that brings a second thing here. I don't know who the color announcer was for that. I did everything I could, Mike, to try and research and find out who this team was, who the play-by-play and the color announcer was. I don't know them by voice. So therefore, I'm not going to go ahead and say that it could have been this person or it could have been that person. But here's the color announcer after this. Let's go. What is that nonsense? Yeah, she's out there. She wants more fights. She wants more physical contact. She wants this thing to turn into a brawl on the court. What is this all of a sudden? If the WNBA is trying to get some legitimacy to yourself, which you are, which you're getting with great play, stop bringing these idiots in here. And it's probably a former player who's out there pushing this along to say, let's go. Come on.
Yeah,
let's get in there. Let's go ahead and drop a couple of fights. What?
Wait a minute, Ed. Wait a minute. Isn't that a double standard on your part? I mean, if someone were doing the hockey game, it's like, let's play the feud. Oh, they're going at it. Now let's play the feud. My God.
Doesn't happen as often as you think, Mike.
Ty Domi has hit him 5 times in the face.
Wait a minute. Doesn't happen as often as you think. I get it, and thanks for asking that question. And the second thing is, fighting is an integral part of hockey, and I know we could get into a whole nother line like this. Fighting becomes one of those moments which is after the
No.
game, or after the play, it's expected.
No.
It's not expected to go punch each other in the NBA or the WNBA.
Yeah,
In hockey,
if
because
you're
it's
sticking up
physical, it
for your
happens,
team, if you're
and there's
sticking up for your
penalties called
teammate, you're
for it.
sticking up for your teammate. That's what hockey is. You stick
Well,
up for your
okay.
teammate. You stick up for your teammate, whether it's the WNBA or the NHL.
But what I'm pointing out is there's physical play under the basket. There's a shove. It all gets over with. 3 players, by the way, got ejected for that because they were deemed to be fighting or potentially fighting. But for the color announcer, who is obviously paid by the WNBA because that's a WNBA broadcast, and it doesn't
She
make
goes,
a difference.
"Let's go."
Whether it's ESPN or anybody else, the money still gets funneled one way or another between the league and the network. She's going, let's go. Let's go where? Let's go what? You want them to get out there and fight? You want them to be clowns and brutal idiots, and you want them to be just like every other nonsense player out there who wants to go ahead and start a fight? I'm not going to use the word. You know where I was going, but I'm not going to use that word. But that's just ridiculous.
Use it. Use it.
No, I'm not going to use the
Wait,
word.
what word were you going to use? I don't know what word you were
Sure
going
you
to
do.
use.
Sure you do.
What does it start? What letter does it start with?
Starts with a T and it ends with an S. And it rhymes with thug.
Thugs?
And
Thugs?
it rhymes with thug. Yes.
Yeah, thugs is. I mean, thug. Unless you're using both races, thugs is like a dog whistle for a black person.
Without question. Without question.
Yeah. So what? So I would say this. Look, contact is part of contact. But yeah, her saying "let's go," if you're gonna get into it, I would have went like, "It's on like Donkey Kong, oh baby!" Like I would have hyped it up. But you're right; it's sort of encouraging, the encouragement of violence amongst women and amongst men. Like, okay, yeah, enough already. Grow
What I'm saying
up.
is, Mike, the WNBA doesn't need it. They have
No.
finesse. They have excellent players. They have
Yep.
strength. They have really good plays, really good shooters, professional players. It's unnecessary to do that. What I think we need to do, Mike, is stop trying to create a difference between the NBA and the WNBA. It is professional basketball, and it should be treated the same for both sides.
Well, yeah, you said, I thought you made a great point when you noticed that the WNBA didn't use the video of that on there. Why? Like, it's a scrum. It happens. It's why
Because
I
it
used to
makes the
get
league
mad.
look
I
bad.
used to get. I mean, why do you think people are coming in record numbers to the WNBA now just because a white girl can shoot from the parking lot? No, because black girls are trying to defend her because they're upset. Oh, the racial animus is ugly. But there's also a quality of this league has gotten so competitive, and there's so many dramas every night that people are watching, and the personalities are part of it. And it's like Lauren Jackson for the Seattle Storm used to get into it with Lisa Leslie of the Sparks, and at one point in the Olympics, literally in 2000. Lauren Jackson pulled out Lisa Leslie's hair extension during an exhibition game, and it was like this huge deal. And there was this, and the WNBA ran away from this. I'm like, wait a minute, you got a rivalry right here. If you had sold that, or if a WNBA player is overweight, she comes to camp overweight, it shouldn't be taboo to say, you know what, so and so needs to lose 20 pounds.
Right, but the minute you say that, you're anti-female.
Right, and it's sort of like that's part of your job to keep yourself in shape. If we're not gonna, if you're not gonna list weights or anything like that, like, are you really being a professional sports league?
I mean, look, we made fun of it at
it.
one time because you remember too when Charles Barkley didn't exactly have an athletic body. He was nicknamed the round mound of rebound. I mean, everybody talked about him being fat. And they still talk about players in the league being fat, being over. Look, Luka Doncic has taken the same thing when they try to cover it up and go, "Oh, the guy's got a dad bod." No, he doesn't. He's fat. He's overweight for a professional basketball player, and he needs to lose some weight. So you should be able to say it about both. Male, female makes no difference. Make the game the same. It is the same game. It is basketball. These are professional players. And it's ridiculous to have a former player, if that was a former player on that play-by-play, to basically go ahead and egg it on to be a fight, because that's exactly what she was doing by saying, "Let's go. Yeah. Don't tell me anything else."
And that's and anybody who's been in a
not
real
what the league needs.
Yeah, and anybody that's seen a real NBA fight, and I've been at a few, you're one punch from like ending someone's career, or you're one, something awful can happen that could just decimate, and it's not part of the game. I'm all for standing up for your teammate, but it's one thing to be physical, it's another thing to be dirty, and you don't want to go there. It's just a bad precedent for anybody. Um, I'll say this though, I will give you Charles Barkley's new nickname, the round mound of pronoun. You like it?
Is that a thing? Really?
I stole it from a guy I used to work with named, believe it or not, Don Drysdale.
Not
He
the
wasn't
pitcher.
the it
Yeah.
wasn't the pitcher. In fact, he wrote a beautiful obituary when Don Drysdale died. He said, we shared the same name, and Double D we called him. He was a pretty portly guy. I think he's lost weight since. He looks great now. But he said he had a great line in his column. He said, Don Drysdale. And he owned the plate. I cleaned it.
Hey, by the
But
way,
anyway,
I just want to point out what you said there about physical play in basketball and how it can be dangerous.
yeah.
I mean, many people in our audience are going to be too young to remember this, but you really got to go back and look at it, what happens on a basketball court. Go Google the names Rudy Tomjanovich and Kermit Washington and
Yeah.
see what happened there. Kermit Washington hit Rudy Tomjanovich, who was coming at him with a full-fledged straight arm punch, and destroyed Tomjanovich's career and his life. And that happened
Yeah.
on the court, which changed a lot of ways that people looked at physical contact on a basketball court. But to have it here and egg it on again and egg on any kind of violence, it's unnecessary. It takes away from the game.
Yeah. Well, Rudy T did go on to win 2 championships with the Rockets, became a very great,
Sure.
good coach. But you're right, it ruined it. You're right. At the time, he had facial reconstruction.
Oh,
There's
his face
I mean,
exploded.
I think there's a documentary and a book. I think Kermit
Yes.
Washington wrote a book about it. Kermit Washington, by the way, is one of the nicest people you've ever met in your life. And at that moment, it wasn't as if Tomjanovich was the aggressor. He was coming in to break up the fight. Kermit Washington didn't know that in the chaos. He just saw someone coming at him. And so just think of someone running at you while you're, full
Bang.
extension punch, and it was over. And it was, and so to this day, that's probably the most violent episode in the NBA. But you're right. It's just over the top, and yeah, get over it.
That's all, folks.